Hello everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been causing concern for many: rising costs and inflation. With Donald Trump set to assume office soon, there's a lot of speculation about how his economic policies, especially those surrounding tariffs, might impact the cost of everyday goods. If you've noticed your grocery bills climbing or found your paycheck not stretching as far as it used to, you're not alone. In this discussion, we'll examine what these potential tariff changes might mean for prices, inflation, and even critical programs like Social Security. You might be surprised by some of the details, so stay tuned to find out how these shifts could affect your life. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are tariffs, and why do they matter? A tariff is essentially a tax on goods imported into the country. When a tariff is implemented, the companies importing those goods typically pass the added costs onto consumers. This means that when you buy products made abroad, you're likely to pay more if tariffs increase. Trump's campaign promises included imposing broad tariffs on imports from countries like China, Mexico, and Canada. Economists have raised alarms about the potential consequences of such sweeping tariffs, warning that prices on essentials like food, electronics, and household goods could spike significantly. However, recent reports suggest that Trump's administration might scale back these plans, focusing instead on specific sectors deemed critical for national security, such as medical supplies and energy resources. On the surface, this approach could help avoid the widespread price hikes initially feared. But even targeted tariffs could raise costs in certain areas. For instance, tariffs on raw materials like steel and aluminum might drive up the prices of products that rely on these materials, such as cars and appliances. Similarly, tariffs on agricultural imports from countries like Mexico could make fruits and vegetables more expensive, even though the U.S. produces a significant amount of its own food. Imported goods often fill supply gaps, especially during specific seasons. Adding to the uncertainty, Trump has publicly denied these scaled-back tariff plans, labeling reports as fake news and insisting that his policies remain unchanged. This back and forth raises questions about what to expect once his administration begins. While focusing tariffs on particular industries might reduce economic disruption overall, Trump's firm stance on maintaining his original plans leaves room for sudden policy shifts. Even within his administration, there appears to be debate about the best way forward, leaving consumers and businesses alike in a state of uncertainty. Looking at the bigger picture, avoiding across-the-board tariffs might help curb inflation, but could also lead to other challenges. Trump has argued that revenue from tariffs would be used to reduce the national deficit while safeguarding programs like Social Security and Medicare. If these revenues fall short of expectations, it could force the government to make difficult decisions, such as cutting funding for social programs. This would impact millions of Americans who depend on benefits like food assistance and healthcare support. While stabilizing inflation in the short term might seem like a win, the trade-off could come at the expense of reduced support for vulnerable populations. So, what does all this mean for you? If you're concerned about rising prices, pay attention to which sectors are targeted by tariffs. For example, if grocery prices climb, it might be tied to new policies affecting imported food. Similarly, if you're planning a major purchase like a car or home appliance, consider how tariffs on industrial materials could influence costs. On a broader scale, tariffs often lead to retaliation from other countries, which can disrupt global trade. This might make it harder for American companies to export their products, potentially impacting jobs and wages. Even if these effects feel distant, they could trickle down to your own household over time. The good news is that none of these proposed changes are set in stone. Policy discussions are ongoing, and there's room for adjustments based on economic and public feedback. Bipartisan concerns about the potential impacts of these tariffs might also result in revisions or pushback in the coming months. This fluid situation offers a silver lining. Changes may not be as drastic as initially feared. In the meantime, what can you do to prepare? Stay informed. Keep an eye on how these developments unfold and be proactive about managing your budget. If prices on essential goods rise, consider strategies like buying in bulk, finding discounts, or cutting back on non-essential spending. Being aware and adaptable can help you navigate these economic shifts more effectively. If you found this discussion helpful, share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know how you think these potential changes might impact you personally. As always, I'll keep you updated as we learn more. Take care, and I'll see you next time.